All right. Hey everyone, welcome in to the first episode of Talk Derby to Me. I'm Brad Bowman.
I'm Nathan Broadhead.
And we're here to talk Derby. Well, Nate and I have been very passionate about Demolition Derby for as long as I can remember.
Since I was a kid.
I mean, Nate and I, we actually didn't like each other in middle school.
Yeah.
So a lot of people probably don't know that, but we didn't really like each other. And then he moved in next door to me, and we were forced to become friends, I guess.
Yeah. Started with basketball and ended up riding our bikes around town looking for derby cars at the age of, what were we, 14, 15?
I would say even probably 13. But, I mean, there for a while, there wasn't a car in Heber City that Nate and I didn't know who owned it, what it was, and how much they wanted for it, if they're willing to sell it. And I mean, I think I was like 14, maybe 15 when I bought my first car and had my mom drive it home.
I remember that one.
So, but we love Demolition Derby, and we decided we wanted to get a little more involved. I know that we discuss a lot of topics with people that, you know, it doesn't seem like people know what's going on. There's a lot of Derby information that gets missed. There's a lot of cool stories out there that a lot of people don't hear. We're hoping to get different people on and share those stories.
Yeah. I know there's a ton that, you know, you and I have talked about on the phone, or I've talked to Justin about when we're sitting on the couch watching Derby. We've got a lot of stories and a lot of things we'd like to bring you guys.
Yeah, nothing's better than you know, meeting people from other towns and then starting to hear some of their stories and experiences. And I'm always up for a good laugh. So if you know me, I'm pretty sarcastic and I like a lot of funny things. And so we're hoping to have a lot of that involved. One of our goals with this is with doing the podcast is we just want to get a lot of information spread. So there's a lot of derbies in Utah, like the smaller county fairs, that it's kind of like an afterthought for them as far as advertising. County fairs that don't get their information out there, and we want to help those guys get the information out there. The sport in Utah, as a lot of people know, has been dying off over the years. With great help of the 80s wire class and even old iron wire class in Utah, it's really revived Utah. I mean, we've seen a huge increase in numbers over the last 2-3 years. But ultimately, we want to get the young kids back in the sport, you know, help them. I mean, if you guys are seasoned veterans, like I really do challenge yourselves to help some young kids in your area get involved, because we need to keep the sport going.
I've noticed when there's a young kid that wants to get involved with the sport, if you post about it on Facebook, we have enough drivers here in Utah, like Tyson and Derek Shelley. They're always willing to help out a youth driver, anything they can do. And even Jason Heffley, and, you know, there's a ton of them out there that'll be willing to lend a helping hand.
Yeah, I mean, I know that there's a great people everywhere. I know all the way across the country, I know there's great people,
There really is.
But I'll tell you what, I mean, Utah Demolition Derby it's my family, man.
Yep.
Like, I have, you know, in some of the lowest points of my life, I've looked at people around me, and a lot of my friends come from Demolition Derby.
100%. And that's one thing, like, growing up, you never think about. You just want to get in a car and smash it. You don't think about the friendships and, you know, family type people you're going to meet, and they're going to be in your life for the rest of your life. You know?
Yeah, and a lot of cool experiences I've had in my life have came through Derby as well. I mean, we've had some really good road trips.
Yeah.
Been to some really fun events, but I mean, kind of circling back to friends, man, like, I've met a lot of cool people from coast to coast in this sport.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, they live a completely different life, but they all have the same passion that we shared, which is, you know, when we were little playing in the sandbox and stuff, you didn't realize it was this big and this, you know.
I never thought we'd get to where we are today. I mean, when we first started driving, it was, you know, you were lucky to win $1,000 to win the whole show.
Yeah. Absolutely, and I mean the rules have changed so much. The competition's changed.
Yeah.
I mean,
Some of us have stayed with the times. Some of us have backtracked, like myself.
here in Utah, like in 2013, Sam Williams told me that Utah was 10 years behind times in demolition derby, and I kind of laughed at him. I'm like, this guy's high as a kite. Like, like we're pretty awesome here. But
Yeah.
then I made my first adventure out to Blizzard Bash and watched that show. And I was thinking, shit, maybe we're more like 15 years behind.
Yeah, I mean, I know we've gained on the gap just because of those experiences of some of you guys
Yeah.
going down there and learning. I mean, look at Jared Johnson, who's been going, back to the Midwest to learn.
Yeah.
And that kid's probably one of the best builders in Utah right now.
Yeah. And I think he's like 19 years old, 20 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty incredible. But large shows and podcasts and pay-per-views and TSL and all that stuff has really opened the eyes to many people across the country to help, like the sport grow and
It really has. I mean, I don't know about you, but every time there's a Derby pay-per-view, whether it's on TSL, We Crash, Derby Tees, or Derby Nation, I'm always clicking on it to see how much it is and see if I want to watch it. And it's made it to where, I can get on there and I know somebody that's driving now from back east or, just anywhere.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool, getting to know these people and then watching them on TV, because you just know, some of these guys I talk to, week by week, month, whatever, to be able to stay in touch with them and then watch them hit the track, knowing how much work and effort they've put into the build.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I look at what I have to build. I build the old iron wire because I'm too lazy to go full weld. And I come over and I look at when you're building your Gold Rush car 2 years ago, and I'm like, yeah, that's not for me. It's fun to watch,
Yeah.
but I'll stay in my lane.
And it's a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of money, but there's just something about building a mini war wagon that's really awesome. Like it's just, it's one of them things where you buy a junky ass car out of a field and you're just like, oh, it's a derby car, but then you take it in the shop. I mean, that Gold Rush car, like, no joke, me and the guys helping me, there was easily 250 to 300 man hours invested into that car. We'd never ran a show with a full crate. Well, I had, but it's been a few years. And
Yeah.
I mean, we built our own cradles. I mean, we built tons of our own parts. And then trying to figure out suspension and stuff for a different rule set that we're not normally used to running. It was an experience, that's for sure. Anyways, yeah, I mean, this is the stuff we want to talk about week to week. We want to get other people on the air. We want to hear about their builds. I think one of our biggest goals is I think we want to get a lot of promoters, as many promoters as we can, to come in and talk about their shows.
We want to get the word out for all of you guys. We want every derby to be successful. We don't want one derby over the other to be successful. We want everybody to share pretty much the wealth when it comes to derby.
Yeah, I mean, you can, here in Utah, I mean, everybody knows that Stern Dirt's the pioneers. They're the number one promoters in the state. They do multiple shows a year. I mean, they've been around 25 plus years. They know the ins, the outs, but you look at their shows and they're going to be well ran.
Yep.
They're going to have great payouts.
And they're fair.
They're fair. But there's awesome shows like Utah County, Juab. Manti was, honestly, if it wasn't my favorite, it was my second favorite show last year in Utah. But
and there's a lot of people that don't know about that show. The only reason I know about it is because I know you go drive it.
There's lots of awesome little shows, like Tooele, you got Camas and Coville, Tripler's got his show up in Tremont, which is pretty new show.
Well, did you know they have a Derby in Bear Lake every year?
I mean, I didn't till like 2 years ago, and I haven't been there, but it actually is kind of on one of my bucket lists.
I agree with that.
It's not even necessarily maybe take a car there, but take the family up for a weekend and go watch it. Because I'll tell you what, I've drove Blizzard Bash, I've drove Gold Rush, I've drove, Wasatch Wipeout, I've ran all the big Stern Dirt shows. I've ran almost every big show in Utah. And all the small ones too, but I'll tell you, the small shows are some of the most fun you can have.
I can see that. There's not as much pressure there.
Right.
Just fun.
I go to the bigger shows. You're there. You're there. You're there to win. Like, let's be honest. A lot of people want to win. They want to be on the big stage. They want to do good. They want to do good in front of their friends, the family, just all their peers.
They want their banner on the wall.
Yeah. I mean, there's something to be said about winning one of those big shows. But like the small shows, man, like that's when I have fun with my friends. It's not as competitive.
You can go hit your friend and not feel bad for it.
Right. And nowadays, I've got the young kids now, and I have more fun at a Derby when I can take my kids in the pits, put them in their Power Wheels, let them just cruise around. They're running up and down the trailer, and I don't have to stress about. There's no politics for me. Like you're just kick back, relaxing. I'm more worried about what I'm eating after the show than I am what's going to happen.
Most of the time when you go to the smaller shows, you're more prepared for some reason. The bigger shows, you're always worried, did I forget this? Is this going to work? Am I going to get my butt kicked in a heat with all these guys?
I mean, no, personally, I've never done this, but I know a lot of people. It's over in the corner puking. So
I've been close. I mean,
so like the pressure's there, but the small shows are fun, and we want to grow those shows too. We want to give them the recognition they deserve. I'm gonna just kind of throw out Juab County Fair right now. The fair board down there. Those guys are so passionate about that, and I know that sometimes they get a lot of hate for this or that. I mean, every promoter does. I bet you Stern Dirt could tell you how many times they've been mother effed. For me to sit here and say I haven't done it at least once, I'd be lying to you.
It's like the job of a referee. Nobody really wants it, but somebody has to do it.
Somebody's got to do it, but those guys down at Juab, like it is, they're not necessarily promoters. They are people, local community members, part of the fair board, and they put so much time and effort into that, and we want people to understand that, and we want them to be able to come on and tell about their new exciting ideas. I mean, hopefully we can get with Eric Brown, get him on here, because he took over the
he's taken over Beaver,
Hurricane, which is the Red Rock Rampage down in Hurricane, and they've got a new set of rules. It's a two-man team show concept, so hopefully we get them on here, let them tell about that, because as for some people may or may not like it, there's other people that really like it, and we want them to have good success, and we want them to help spread their word and get people excited about that show.
So if you're a promoter watching and you want to get the word out, call me or Brad. We're more than happy to set you up and get you on here and let you go wild on telling us about your Derby.
Yeah, well, get on here, tell the people what they can expect, and tell them about your show. Things that might be exciting, things you do differently, things that just that make you guys unique. That's one of our big things. We definitely want the promoters to be a huge part of this. A lot of you guys know that I'm partnered in Destructive Behavior. Nate helps us a bunch.
Yep.
We don't want this to be just Destructive Behavior.
There are going to be times we talk about it.
But we don't want it to be just Destructive Behavior. We don't want it to be just about the Heber guys. And honestly, we don't want it to be just about the Utah guys. We're Utah-based, but
we know there's a lot of out-state drivers that love to come to Utah and put on a show.
Yeah, we want those guys to know, like, hey, if I come in and run a show, like, if I stay around a week with my family, what show can I hit next? Or
what fun adventures can we do? Because I know a lot of guys that, they come in, I mean, not specifically for the Heber Derby, but they like to go see the sites, like Derek and Steve from Hard Nose. Those guys fly in every year to the state fair and go
Yeah.
They go touring.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, I mean, I'm really biased because I'm born and raised here, but damn, I mean, Utah is one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. And, you know, every now and then I tell myself I'm going to move away, and then I go somewhere and I'm like, no, this is
Well, and what's even great
this is
about
where I want to be.
What's even great about Utah is it doesn't matter where you go. Each area in Utah is different. You go down to St. George, you have the Red Rock. You go out to Vernal, Duchesne, Roosevelt area, you have the Basin. Like,
Yeah.
every area is different.
Yeah, there's some awesome parts of Utah for sure. You know, so, you know, some of the big shows that people want to hit, sometimes the dates interfere with their county fairs or family or whatever.
Yep.
But so hopefully this will help. You know, if somebody wants to come to Utah in June or July, hopefully we can lead them onto a derby that's in June
Yeah.
or July.
Which there's plenty of options for those. This is the biggest reason we want to do this is to get the words out for
Yeah.
those shows.
Right. Kind of moving away from promoters and steering towards like the drivers. I mean, the other part of this that we want to do is we really want to get drivers involved. Nate's really good at social media. He's going to get some polls going throughout the year. We want to know what people would like to see and what types of shows do they want to see. What's their favorite types of payouts? What rules do these guys like to run? Like and see if we can get creative. Create some unity,
Yeah.
and just have some fun with this. Like I said, Nate and I met some really cool people, and we'd love to get some people on here
Meet new people.
Yeah, and touch base with some people that we haven't talked to for a while. But I think this is going to be exciting for us. I hope that the people watching it enjoy it.
Yeah.
I know sometimes we can go down some rabbit holes or whatnot, but
Yeah, I'm sure that's gonna happen.
But hoping to keep it fun, upbeat, new and interesting. Nate and I have a lot of great ideas for this. Like I said, guys, we don't want this to be about just, you know, destructive behavior or even Utah per se or whatever. If you're a promoter out there and want to come on and talk, great. If you're a driver, want to come on, kick some ideas around with us, let us know.
Yeah.
You know,
Not only that, like, what are you building? Like, what got you into this sport? What's your passion for it?
yeah. I mean, I'd like to dive into the wire classes a little bit and talk to those guys and the challenges they face there, what excites them, you know, the time, you know, compared to a weld class, jump over to that. Bring on some weld guys, talk about how in depth, you know, they're building, what they're, you know,
Yeah.
what they're experiencing, what ideas they got coming up. So a lot of good chatting to come out, hopefully from this, and hopefully we can get a lot of people involved and join us in the future. So
Yeah.
one thing that we want is we just want everyone to feel like they can come on this particular show. We're trying to build a platform here. We even thought about doing some ideas called like Tuesday takeovers or something.
Just something to get everybody else invested in it as well, not just Brad and I
Yeah.
per se.
I mean, I'd be sitting here lying to you if I told you I know there's people out there that are other promoters or what that don't like me and they don't like my ideas and
People
whatever.
don't like you?
Unfortunately, there are a few people.
I would have never thought that.
You know, me neither. But
Okay, people don't like me either, so.
if those people, if you're one of those people, reach out to Nate.
And if you don't like me, you reach out to him.
We'll get it set up. You know, we can get you and your promoter people on. We'll schedule a call, let you guys come on, do your own thing. It doesn't even have to be all through visual. We can just do audio, but we can let you guys kind of come on, do your own thing, cut us completely out of it. Unfortunately, Nate probably will be the one editing it and posting it, but we definitely want everyone to have the opportunity. Like I said, we're trying to build a platform here that we'll build off of, and we want everyone to be involved. We want everyone to feel like they have an opportunity. I know that mid-July to the end of August is.
That's gonna get pretty hefty.
Yeah, I know that there's 2 or 3 shows a night sometimes. Nate and I want to do our best to get all those people involved. So we're going to start on a schedule.
Yep.
Hopefully, we've got a schedule at least 2 weeks out, maybe 3-4 weeks out. We can post that and try to get prepared and get some good content for everyone.
Yeah, we want to try also to visit as many derbies as we can this year and just, share our experience at that show too.
Thanks for coming on and joining us for our first one. I know that we don't know what we're doing, so I'm glad that everyone bared with us if you're still here.
I'm just extremely happy I didn't do the Ricky Bobby.
Well, I did the Ricky Bobby once on Fox 13 News. I asked them, what do I do with my hands? They told me just put them by the side. It was the full body. So I just sat there like this for 10 minutes as they asked me questions. And then later on the TV, I mean, you can YouTube it. I don't know what it's under, but it's pretty funny. I look like a complete moron.
Yes.
My wife still gives me shit because I wore a shirt that had a chick magnet on it. So.
Oh, that's advertising.
Good times.
But
Anyways.
Join us for our next episode.
Yeah, I think that we got Juab coming on.
Yep.
They're about ready to release all their rules and their payouts and the format of their show. I'm not sure who we're going to have on yet, but once we get with them,
I know I've reached out to a few promoters to kind of let them know what we're doing to see if they would like the opportunity to get on here and talk about their show.
Yeah.
So
we're going to obviously try to get the ones that have their shows first and kind of, run through the year. In and out of promoters, we're going to be bringing on different drivers.
Yep.
See what they're building, how excited they are, stuff like that. So, here's to nothing. Hopefully you all enjoy this, and hopefully everyone wants to be a part of this. And please like and share.
We're excited to join this venture with you guys. From headers to headphones, we'll see you next week.